Hello everyone, Dr. Sara here, and today we have Dr. Sania Solkar who has cleared her FMG examination in Jan 2025 in her very first attempt. She's from Tbilisi Medical University, and we are so proud of you, Doc. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you feeling right now?
I'm very good, very happy, and I think the big thing is over. So it was just great, the overall feeling.
So tell me all about you, like from your university, everything. Just
So I joined TSMU in 2018, and very funnily enough, I started my Arise classes before I started my university classes. So this happened at
what?
least 2 or 3. It happened 2 or 3 days before our university classes started. We had a meeting in the main hall and we went there, and it was the dean, one of the prominent figures. And there was someone who sat there, and my father was accompanying me at that time. And I looked at him and he looked at me, and we both were like, this guy looks like Abhijit from CID. And that's when I met Khalil sir. That was the first time. And I was like,
My
oh,
God.
okay, someone like this is there. And that's when I got to know that Indian graduates will have to write this exam. Because before that, I was like, oh, nice, happy world. Okay, mil gaya bahar admission. Ho gaya. Then I was like, oh, okay, fine. So that's where my FMG journey started. And the first class that I had with him, I remember it very clearly. He made us draw the heart.
Hmm.
And directly after that, he just skipped to the upper limb. And I was very concerned कि मैं ये सारी चीजें याद कैसे रख लूंगी. I don't know how this is going to work out. But I think over the next 6 years, like slowly, one by one, it just went in together to finally make me reach at a place where I am right now. And that's a very happy place.
So where did you start? Like, where are you from, Doc? और ये journey कहाँ से शुरू हुई?
So
Like you
it's
said,
a
you were in your zone of I got into medical college, and I relate to that because you were born and brought up in Muscat.
Yes, I was not born and brought up in Muscat. I was brought up in Muscat. I was born in Maharashtra itself, and then I was 3 years old when I shifted to Oman. And it was very funny because when I came here, one of my uncles who's really close to me, he got me a doctor's play set. And it was a blue colored plastic play set with like all of its different things. And for some reason, just from there, I was like, हाँ मुझे doctor ही बनना है. And it just stuck to me like throughout my entire life. So a lot of people did tell me कि doctor की पढ़ाई बहुत मुश्किल होती है. It's very, time consuming. It's very everything consuming. So they were like, don't go for it. But I just had this at the back of my head कि नहीं मेरे को वही बनना है. I like the title before my name. That was my initial thing. And since then, I have like tried to motivate myself. And then in a very early stage, as I just said, I met Arise faculties itself, starting with Khalil sir. So I feel like that really shaped me into it because as graduates who leave your home country and go, for me, it was not even India, it was Oman at this point.
One, yeah.
So when I left Oman and when I went to Tbilisi, the first thing I was, yaar, yahan pe to bahut thand hai. It was a completely different change.
I
And
think
I
we
think
could deal with the thund well.
no, we couldn't because here we are used to 50 degrees
50
and then going
degrees,
to
yes.
minus 15, it's just crazy.
So if
So,
anybody doesn't know, I was born and brought up in Oman as well. So that's why
yeah.
we can understand each other's emotions
Yeah.
regarding
So
the.
just, because it was still October going on over here and it was still pretty hot over here. It's not like it'll become fine. I just go there, barish ho rahi hai, it's cold and everything. And I was so surprised. Like, wow, world like this also exists. And then I think it was just the fact that I got the faculties very early on in the day. I got Khalil sir was there. I feel like just meeting the faculty and everyone just, coming together and helping you out in the best way possible was the best thing. And that's what I was very grateful to Arise for. And I was so happy that I got to know them from so early and I just started with them. Yeah.
It's amazing, Doc. Please tell me, how was your exam day? Like so many of us, like so many students came to us and told us कि पहला पेपर बहुत tough था. So, how was your exam day? Can you describe it for me?
The exam day, in my personal opinion, was just like, I just have to write one more GT. Because while we were preparing with Arise, they told us ki you're supposed to write minimum of 5 GTs. And I took it like a complete psychopath. And I wrote 19 GTs by the time I went for the exam. And on my first GT, I got 151. And on my second GT, I got 150. And then I just kept going on, going on, going on. And my last GT was on 11th January, which is like a day prior to the exam. And I just went through all the
Gave a
wrong
GT
answers.
1 day before exam?
Yes, I gave a GT 1 day before exam because I was still in a little bit of panic mode. And I was like, this will just calm me down. So I did that.
Wow,
And then,
that's new.
yeah, that was a very crazy move to have taken. After that, I calculated all my scores and I realized कि yeah, okay, 180 to 200 के बीच में कहीं ना कहीं मेरा number आ ही जाएगा. On the day of the exam, I didn't sleep the whole night. As per the request of all the faculties ki jao so jao, I couldn't sleep the whole night. But that would lead to, somebody starting to panic a lot. But for some reason, I just had at the back of my head ki I've given 19 GTs already. So tomorrow is just another GT for me. And I was just trained that way, I feel. So when I went to the exam hall, there was like an hour left before the exam started because I went in fast. And I registered with them and everything. And I'm just sitting there praying. And I had only one prayer in my head, which I think is very important to have, that I also pass and my friends also pass, because like another few people were also writing it with me. And I just wanted, सबके नाम ले लेकर I was like, हमको pass करवा दो.
Did they pass?
Yes,
Oh,
just like pass
amazing.
us all. So then in the end, what happened was the paper started. The first paper, as we said, was difficult. It started. I went through the questions like one by one, doing it itself. I didn't go, okay, I will see all 50 and then do something. No, I was like, मैं एक एक करके ही जाऊंगी, as I usually go. Some questions were like, अरे ये क्या हो गया? Some questions are like, हाँ, sir की तो आवाज सुनाई दे रही है. Because throughout the exam, I could hear Priyansh sir screaming in my head, this question you know. So I was like, okay, fine. So this I know, this I know. And then it reached a point where it became a little difficult. The second part of the first paper, especially, was a little bit tricky. But I feel like that was still manageable. And then came the third part. The third part is where it was all bad. Because I think in my shuffling, that's where all the bad questions came. So I don't know what happened there. But I tried my level best to like calm myself.
50 sets.
Yes, the 50 set that I'm talking about, the last 50 of the first paper was the worst one for me. Then I came out after finishing it. I was like, chalo, kuch na kuch to ho hi jayega. I can't be completely wrong also. So then I came out. My parents were there. They were like, khana khayegi? I was like, nahi. To kya khayegi? I was like, biscuits and cola. And that's all I had. I had biscuits and cola. And then I just swiped through all of the remaining FTR notes that were there on my iPad. And then I went back and I wrote the second paper. Again, before I entered also, there was a significant amount of time. Same prayer is going on. The second paper started. Second paper, first part, very good. I was very happy with it. Second paper, second part, I almost started to cry because that is where I lost everything. Because I felt, ki, oh my God, ये तो बहुत ही बुरा हो रहा है. So then I took a break. I actually sat down for like 5 minutes or so. I was like, जा रहा है 5 minute तो जाने दो, but just calm yourself down. I went, I drank water, I came back, I sat, I was like, okay, now just think and do. Even if you don't understand anything, make your stupid logic, something will come out. And that's what I did. And then I read the answers again and again, and I was like, this is something I've heard more often rather than the others. So I'm just going to go with this as my instinct because it was a possibility that this could be a question, the bouncer questions that come. So I wasn't sure about it. So I did that as well. Third part of the second paper was still fine. It was okay. And then I came out, and then my parents were like, so? I was like, yeah, it was fine only. It wasn't like really bad. It was fine. But then it hit me when I saw all the other students around me because a lot of them went into panic mode. And that's when I didn't know whether me being this level of content with my paper was good enough. Because from then started my journey of being scared and panicked till the day the results. Yeah, then I went home. I just took a shower. I had dinner, and that's when I was like, I'm gonna sleep tonight. And that was like the most peaceful sleep I've had in so many months. Because other than that, it was just anxiety.
That's a takeaway that students should have. Like, जिस दिन exam खत्म हो रहा है, leave everything and go. Don't watch social media, don't see what others are doing, don't discuss the
Yeah.
paper. There's no point. It will only put you
Actually,
in anxiety.
actually, something really funny happened in the whole part where, like, I was at home. So one of my friends who was writing the paper, he was texting me, and he was like, "Bro, what was this terrorist question?" And I'm thinking, "अरे यार, मैंने तो कोई terrorist question देखा ही नहीं." Then I texted another girl who had also written. I was like, "भाई ये कोई terrorist question की बात कर रहा है, मुझे तो पता नहीं है." She's like, "Bro, it's not terrorist. He's talking about the tourist question." And I was like, "Oh, okay." That's when I was like, "Oh my god, मैंने कुछ गलत तो नहीं कर दिया यहाँ पर." So yeah, it was funny, but at the same time, I feel like that day is very memorable because when I came back, I was getting a lot of calls, and it was just crazy. That was the day my cousin brother was supposed to get married as well, and I told him कि देख मैं तो आ नहीं रही हूँ, so it'll be like a big झगड़ा between you and I. तो तू कुछ तो करके अपनी डेट या तो आगे कर ले, पीछे तो करने का कोई फायदा है नहीं because I'm not attending anything before the exam. So he actually postponed his wedding by 1 week so that I could attend it.
That's
And that's the day the
crazy.
results came. So it was like a complete roller coaster because I didn't
It's
know it
such
was
a
raining.
deja vu because the previous interview also they found the results on the wedding day
On
of
the wedding day, yes, nikah hua dopahr ko, and then in the evening I was just chilling and I was actually talking to my cousin's sister at this point who was with me and my nephew, and I was like, मुझे बहुत stress हो रहा है, पता नहीं. My friend calls me, she's like, bro, results are out. I was like, oh my god. She's like, tension mat le. She had already checked my results, but she's not telling me congratulations. Like, tension mat le. And that didn't even hit me because when somebody says tension mat le, it's like, अरे यार कुछ तो बुराई हो गया.
such a psyche we have now.
We have a very crazy thought process. And then
So
I checked my results and then I saw it was a pass and it was a good pass.
193. Well, that's a great
193.
score. That's a
Thank
great
you.
score.
Thank you. And
First
then I ran
attempt,
down.
hats off to you. Tell me
Thank you
about
so
your
much.
journey in Arise Doc. You were in the online batch, I think.
Yes, I was in the online batch. Actually, I was supposed to come offline to Hyderabad, but
Mm.
because of some problems like, staying and everything, I decided I'll just take it online and I thought it'll be a better way. Because it's a very different thing when you're at home and when you're living somewhere else, because then again when you go somewhere else I feel like you do end up spending some time on taking care of like the other things, unnecessary things like food, clothes, cleaning, this, that, and it just takes up a little bit of your energy and a lot of your time. So I felt like staying at home was a better option for me because mummy to hai ghar pe. So if there's anything, the least I can get is like khana table pe aake reh jayega and I'll study and I'll eat at the same time. So I feel that was a very good thing. So that's why I did. In fact, this started when I came here, but my online journey started while I was in Georgia itself. I was waiting for my documents and I texted Khalil sir and I told him, sir, documents aane mein bahut der ho rahi hai. I think if you're okay with it, can I please join online starting so that, later on I don't miss so much and I join the journey earlier. And he told me ki I will let you join. And very coincidentally at that time, Dharma classes attended and Patho was just starting. So my first online class was actually Patho. And that's where I started it from with you. And I was really happy. And I was like, ये क्या बंदी है यार, इतनी बार गिर रही है, पढ़ रही है. Because all of your stories kept coming and I was just like, oh my god, this is so nice. Because I do have this belief also that a teacher can be as great as they are, they can teach you in the best way possible, but the power your friend has to teach, in that last few minutes. And it felt like a friend teaching me, ma'am, because I think we're just from this place and you're so close to our age also and you're so like happy go lucky with us, so I feel like it just felt that way. And it was like a very nice way to start Pathway and I was really happy with it. And then I came back here. And then I
And
just
how was
decided
your
to go.
journey? Like, tell me all throughout. Like, you said online, uh, you took because you don't have to worry about anything else, and
Yes.
it's just your mummy can bring food to you.
Yes.
But
The
I think it
bliss.
also takes a lot of discipline, right?
It
क्योंकि
does take a
आप
lot of
ऐसे ही shut
discipline.
कर सकते हो laptop या you can just shut your iPad.
Yes, that was something that was very challenging as well, I feel, because sometimes what happens is कि you just wake up and you're like, oh God, अब तो नींद आ
Classes are
रही है,
कैसे
AC चल
लोग
रहा है, सो जाओ. And then if you have faculty like Salman sir who suddenly starts singing also and his voice is so good, you're like, हाँ, सो ही जाते अब तो. But I feel like for me, the biggest problem that I faced with this whole thing was the timing. Because in India, what is 9 o'clock is 7:30 over here. And I am a night owl. I love to sleep throughout the day. And the fact that I had to change that whole thing and get back into waking up early
Waking
according
up
to
early.
that was a little crazy. But I think what I did with that was my schedule was very simple. 7:30 is the class. I will wake up at 7:29. It doesn't matter. मैं उठ जाऊंगी. Once I'm up, I'm up. There's no issues with that. Then I'll study, I'll like go around with the first whole part of it. And then in the 15-minute break, I'll take my whatever break I want to take. I'll go have my breakfast and everything. And then again, the 2-hour session would start, and then we would have that 1 hour break. Now, a lot of people in this 1 hour break would go
They will
sleep.
leave. Yeah.
No, some will leave, some will sleep, some will have lunch. I was of the mindset कि मुझे सोना ही है इस time पे. So I used to just sleep off during that time because I knew कि 7:30 waking up is मेरे बस की बात नहीं है. So I still have to sleep. So that 1 hour lunch break was my 1 hour sleep break. And then again, I would wake up on time and then the class would start. And then the 15-minute break that would come would be my lunch break here in Oman. And then I would have my lunch and then again I would continue. At the end of the day, once the class was done, I would wait for like a couple of minutes, like maybe, cool off with like 10-15 minutes to myself, just go around, get some water, get something to eat. And then I would sit and revise the whole thing that they taught us for the whole day. And once that was done, I would go to the Q bank and I would solve the questions for only that much part. And then when I realized that there's some topic that I still don't know, I would still solve it. I would try to see how much I know. Even if I got it wrong, I would mark it and I would keep it so that I could come back to it. And I would come back to it later on. Like I'll read the topic again.
Check the
I'll come back.
explanations and everything you did during
Yes.
Q bank, Arise Q
I
bank.
solved the Q bank. I solved all the subject-wise tests. I did all the GTs. I did all the FTR tests. I did whatever they gave to me. मेरे को करना है. I even did the NEET PG questions. I was like, ये भी करके चली जाती हूँ. So I did, I think, almost everything. I had completed the Q bank till around 80-85%. There was still a little bit here and there left, but I thought कि that is the God tier. उतना तो नहीं
What was
होगा.
helpful for you, the Q bank Arise का जो था?
Yes, the Q bank was very helpful. I feel like the explanation of all the answers in the end was also very great, and that really helped us a lot in the end. And I think the best part was the QRP and the FTR. The FTR is where everything changed, because still then you had that little bit doubt, but the FTR and the QRP was just spot on. Amazing.
Tell me about that experience. Did you attend it live? Yeah.
I attended it live. Yes, I made sure to attend those classes live because I knew that even if I don't attend it live, I will have the recording. But that one-on-one interaction that you can have on chat won't be there. And it's better to clear it off then and there, because later on the doctors will also get busy with their days. So I would attend the FTR then and there. I would write down whatever they said. Yes, some places here and there you have a chance to miss it off for XYZ reasons. But then that you can check out later and then you can do it. And I feel like all the doctors are very available also. So it was a very good thing. So it was just a completely whole, it felt like I'm in a safe bubble, and it was like fine because it was exactly like school for me. So it's like in ISG also you were in that safe bubble and everyone comes and feeds you. Same thing.
You got that we are intelligent wala vibe from there only. I remember.
ISG.
Yeah, ISG was known for that. No, we are better than everyone. We are intelligent.
No, we don't go around saying that. We go around proving
Please.
that. I just went to school 2 days ago and they had like an Indian school quiz competition, like not the Oman Times of Oman one, it's the normal one. And in that also, I'm seeing a trophy yahi pe baitha hua. I was like, perfect.
Like we were from ISM and ISM and ISG would look into, we would be like, we are the richer ones.
Yeah.
You would say that, we are the more intelligent. दिमाग ही तो लेकर जाएगा.
It still goes on, I still see a lot of people who are from these two particular schools and they're just going on at each other. I was like, yaar, ye kabhi nahi khatam hone wala.
From our time to your time to pata nahi.
Later on. Actually, it's been going on since my uncle's time. So I'm still very shocked that it's still going on.
No, but how many questions did you solve per day, though?
So I didn't have any specific limit that I have to solve only these many questions. I kept myself very flexible with that. So if in one day, on an average, I would say 50-60 questions a day.
50-60
but
would be.
Yeah, but sometimes I would go more, sometimes I would go less, depending upon the topic, depending upon how I was, dealing with all the studies at that time. If I could finish more, I could finish more. If I could finish less, I wouldn't like punish myself for it. I felt like that is very important also, because you shouldn't set any unrealistic goal. Just go ahead, do whatever you can do.
Students do that. They would write down, I will do this,
Yes.
और उसमें बस आधा हो रहा है
आधा हो
और
जाता
फिर वो
है.
पूरा डिप्रेशन में चले जा रहे हैं क्योंकि
Exactly.
नहीं हो पाया और फिर
Exactly. That's
all
why.
but I think even doing that halfway should be like अरे कर लिया हमने.
But yeah. But a lot of us don't look at that. We look at the half glass empty thing, because end of the day, that stress is there, right? So it will always be that way. So I never set any kind of particular limit. I was like, जितना हो रहा है उतना कर ले.
So which was the most memorable time in Arise for you, like online batch? And can you tell me which moments were
I
some
think the most memorable ones were all the teachers and their stories. Like, for example, your accident story, your beautiful dal story. And I think with Salman sir, it was the fact that he would just sing for us. Like, there was this one day we were going through, I think, pharma, and I still remember it was that pharmacodynamic chapter going on. And I was so sleepy. And then suddenly he starts singing Dardaya. And I was like, what? And it was so nice. That woke me up, and then I started going on with it. Nadeem sir, though, I don't think we can say anything. He's just always so active and so everything. Khalil sir has been my mentor since day one, so there's nothing that I can say about him. He knows very well how much respect I have for him. And his one thing,
do you get his jokes? The sarcasm in his jokes.
sometimes I do, sometimes I just nod my head, like, हाँ, respect तो देनी चाहिए करके. Yeah.
I think the difference between the faculty is like we are very happy-go-lucky, and he calms that down. कि जमीन पे आ जाओ, आप यहाँ पर हो.
I didn't feel that much also about him. I felt like he was also a very happy-go-lucky person. It just takes you a
He's
little bit
actually very happy and very
sobriety
and
to
very
learn
funny.
that. Yeah.
So,
But two things that Khalil sir said have traumatized me till the day I wrote the exam. One of them was, if you don't pass the exam, you're still a 12th pass only for me. It doesn't matter how many years you've done this. And I was like, first time when I heard this was on that day, and I was like, how rude. That was my only reaction. And the second thing he said was 149 equals 0.
equals to 0.
I was like, अरे यार, बस कर दो. Yeah, but I think those were the things that really motivate you in the end. And he even told us that, I will not call you doctor until you pass. And then a few days ago, I wished him for a festival and he called me doctor. And I was
Dr.
so
Sania.
happy. I sent it to you, I sent it to my friends, I sent it to my family. I was like, bhai, hogi mein doctor.
Yeah, that's
So,
such
yeah, it was
an
great.
amazing thing.
It was
to
very amazing.
Tell me, as Dr. Sania right now, things would you tell Sania, the aspirant, to avoid?
The aspirant to avoid would be, I would always, I think I went through a very rough journey when it came to Georgia. So I would tell myself, place yourself first. There was a long time when I did not do that, where I let people walk all over me, and that was really wrong. So I feel like that is one thing very important, because we go to different countries, we have no choice. So we end up making friends and everything. Some friendships turn out amazing, some don't turn out the way you want it, but it's okay. It's a part and parcel of life. Just place yourself first. I didn't do that, and I would probably tell the previous me to चुप करो, अपने आप को पहले रखो. So I would like scold myself for
That's
that.
an important advice because
It is.
I remember being like that as well. I think we are too giving
We're
in
very similar in that way. I think it's just a musket factor.
Muscat factor, yeah. But true, placing yourself first is such an
It's a
important.
very important thing to do, yeah. And then I feel like I would also tell myself, it's okay, make your mistakes, because I used to be very harsh on myself. I still am sometimes when I make mistakes, like, "Ye kya kar diya, pagal ladki." And then I would just tell myself, just calm down. Everything will fall in its place when it has to fall. Just don't rush anything. It's all fine. Just
The
go ahead.
self-talk you're talking about,
Yeah, the
the
self-talk.
give to ourselves.
Yeah,
And
but
it
that
has
is
to be
very
very
important.
kind, I think. It
Sorry?
has to be very kind.
Yeah,
You're saying, no? Because we have that harsh voice always telling us, you're good
exactly.
for nothing. Yeah, true.
Exactly. Because we're so harsh on ourselves. We don't understand that, if somebody else is behaving that way to us, we'll probably hate them. But if you're
Hmm.
behaving yourself that to yourself like that, you're like, oh, okay, it's fine, it's fine. That's wrong. You should start liking yourself first. And
Hmm.
I
True.
learned it the hard way, but I would really tell everyone, including my old self, to do it like, the nicer way. So yeah, I
Such an
think that was
important.
a very important lesson I learned over there.
So tell me, like you cleared the exam in Jan. Like you, there are so many students who are going to appear in July, June. So for them, give me three advices as Dr. Sania.
As Dr. Sanya sounds very unrealistic, but as Dr. Sanya, three
It is
advices I
true.
would. It is true, yeah, I know. But it just sounds very, very overwhelming.
Mhm.
So yeah, the three things I would tell is first is of course place yourself before anyone else. Learn to keep yourself very happy with the things that you're doing. Because other than that, I think that's like your first place where you will fall if you don't do it properly. Second thing would be it's okay. Don't set unrealistic goals. And even if you don't meet your goals, it's fine. Like,
No.
abhi bahut time pada hai. So don't worry about it. And it's never the wrong time to like start or it's like you're too late or you're too early. No, it's always the perfect time. So no matter what you're doing, just give your 100%. If you feel like you need to give 150, give it and just see for yourself. And the third thing would be watch anime because that's what I did. So after all my GTs, 19 GTs that I gave, I used to sit and watch Naruto religiously, and I've seen it like a billion times. But I would sit and watch it. So I was like,
I
yeah,
would
this is
give
the
the
wrong.
same advice. My God, that was a big pillar for me, Naruto.
Naruto, right? Yeah. Because
The
I would learn
villains,
from him.
yeah,
He was
he never gives
so
up.
Yeah,
Never
he never
gives up.
gives up. He's just like, okay, I failed. I'm just gonna go ahead. So I would just sit and watch it again and
I think
again.
my will came from Naruto because I
Yeah,
such a this thing कि नहीं Naruto कर सकता है तो मैं भी.
yeah, it was actually there. Like Naruto was such a power move for me, I think. So I feel like that's a very good anime for someone else also to watch.
No, no,
But
no.
obviously don't like sit and watch it the whole time because it's
Okay.
700 plus episodes. Then that'll be problem. But yeah, so I had seen it and I thought it's the best thing I could do to calm myself down. And I would watch out. My favorite one was Kakashi, and I feel like he's everyone's favorite.
Kashi.
So I would just watch a lot of Kakashi fillers and everything at that time. But just like calmed me down. That was the most important thing that I needed from it. The second one was motivating. So I feel like that was very good.
So, like you said, this was very important to calm yourself down. So,
Yes.
during the preparation, did you have those low days? Like some days we are all motivated, but you also have those days where you feel like अब मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा. That voice in you is way more harsher, way more critical.
Yes, that voice in me started specifically when we had those FTR sessions that were
Mhm.
going on and those one subject sessions that kept happening just before the QRP. That's when it started happening. Because by then we had done like a major chunk of everything and just the remaining touch up was left. And it was just too overwhelming to do the same thing again and again and again. Though it's the best thing you can do, but it still like, takes out a lot on you. And then something or the other just kept happening in the personal lives also, like back in Georgia. So I just had my head there also. So a lot of those days were like really bad days. So I just told myself that, you know what, it's fine. Try to solve that if you feel like that will help you study better. So I would try and solve whatever my issue with the whole Georgia thing was, and then I would be fine over here. And I saw it reflect a lot because when there's an external stress on you, then it affects your studies. And I am the kind of person who doesn't like to mix my professional and my personal life. But for some reason at that time, it was just getting mixed. Like it was too overwhelming to overcome. So I had to make sure that I calm myself down, as I have said multiple times now. That is very important. And sometimes my biggest advice would be sometimes when you feel like you can't do anything, just go to sleep. Bas so jao. Everything will get sorted out the next day morning. For some
And
or the
time
other
will
reason, it
pass.
always
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Yeah. It has happened with me, and I'm the strongest believer of sleep is the best medicine. So go sleep. So I would always do that.
So
But yeah, I
that's
think it's very important to keep that in mind as well.
so on your low days you would go and sleep.
I would just go and sleep. Yes.
That is so important. It
मुझे
helps.
किसी का नहीं सुनना. I'll
Uh,
just sleep.
and time passes. I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest. Just a quick rapid round, okay? Just give me one word answers for this. Main notes, yeah, rapid revision notes.
Main notes.
Main notes. You
Main
had your
notes.
hand on the notes.
Yes. Though rapid revision is good, but main notes has every single thing, and you will note down things like small ones that are being told in class that can be missed in the rapids. But main notes, just go for it.
Group study or studying alone?
Studying alone. I'm a self-study person. But group prayer.
Group prayer. Wow,
Yes.
that's a new thing.
Group prayer is very important.
Online or offline?
I prefer the online one. I feel like online is better for me.
Perception based.
If you have a
But
discipline, then
discipline,
online is good. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
GT देना चाहिए नहीं देना चाहिए?
Definitely then I gave 19. Definitely dena chahiye, because the day of the exam just feels like you're giving another GT, and I think that is a very good mentality to go with because you're not scared. It's
Okay.
like, oh, GT.
True or false?
Okay.
Without studying 18 hours, you cannot clear FMG.
False. I didn't study 18 hours a day. That is crazy. I need sleep. No, I honestly did not study 18 hours a day, but I did study for a long period of time, like 14, 15, tak to I would say. Not 18 per se, but like 14, 15, yes, definitely.
And really depends on the quality, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's more important. Yeah, you study for like a good, if you say 18 hours, you'll probably be only studying for 6 out of it. So that's pointless. You study for like a shorter period of time, but make it more effective, it's better. So yeah,
You are in live classes or recorded videos?
live classes.
Live
Live
classes.
classes are always the best.
If you miss watching on 2x or 1x,
2x.
but does it go inside?
I have watched everything on 2x, including Naruto in Japanese. So I feel like me watching on 2x is a very normal thing. 1x makes me sleep. But that's also, as we said, it's very personal to everyone. So it's fine.
It really depends on you.
Yeah.
So, one last advice before we end this interview for anyone who's watching this, what would you like to say?
Just be happy. It will happen. Just be happy, just be yourself, and it will all happen. Don't worry about it. Everyone's there to support you. If you don't do it in your first go, second go, it's fine. You have more attempts. It's okay. Don't be harsh on yourself because that's what pulls you down.
Congratulations, Doc. It was such a
So
blessing to take this interview for you, especially knowing you come from the same place and you brought chips for me. Can I forget it? But yeah, this was such a blessing, and we are so proud of you. You make
thank
us
you so much. I will forever be grateful to this faculty because it just paved my way for everything, and I'm just so happy with it. So, yeah.